So I didn't realize that my daughter spoke German, which I'll actually go ahead and come clean. She does not speak German, but bear with me. So we were at a local restaurant. The name of the restaurant doesn't matter, but I was always told that every story had to have a setting. So there you go. We were looking around in this restaurant, and this young kid walks up to me and she asked me a question that I definitely did not expect. She points towards my daughter and she says, "What is she speaking?" I was super confused, so I asked, "What do you mean?" She says, "What is she speaking? Like, what language is she speaking?" So now that I know exactly what she's asking me, I said, "Well, she speaks English." To my surprise, the little girl replied, "Oh, it sounded like she was speaking German." So I briefly explained that she has cochlear implants and that she wasn't able to hear for a large part of her life, and so her speech is behind and all of these things. Honestly, I know that the girl did not mean anything by her comment, but for whatever reason, I still felt like giving a brief explanation as to why my daughter's speech is not the most clear to understand. So fast forward to us getting home and getting everything ready for bed. For some reason, that comment was still on my mind. I wasn't upset about it, but I was puzzled because while I know my daughter's speech isn't super clear, I didn't think it was, mistakable for another language. Then I realized that I'm able to understand my daughter because I spend so much time with her. I know her voice and I know what she's saying because we talk often. So, are you ready for my big takeaway? So there's a passage in the book of John, it's chapter 10, verse 27, and it says, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." And there's more to that. But let me ask you this. Do you think the sheep would listen if the command or direction came from an unfamiliar voice? I would say probably not. But why not? Well, it's because it's not familiar to them. A stranger's voice wouldn't be familiar to them. They've not spent hours with that person or hours hearing that particular voice. So am I saying that my daughter and I are like Jesus and these sheep? No, not exactly. But what I am saying is you may struggle to hear the Lord if you're not spending enough time with Him to know His voice. I know that I don't always spend the amount of time that I should with Him, and maybe you can sympathize with that. I suppose it's entirely possible you may even think He's speaking in a different language if you're not familiar with His voice. So this is a story from last week's newsletter. This is a weekly newsletter that I write, and the goal is to write encouraging and uplifting stories about my life, about fatherhood, about faith, that again, someone out there hopefully hears, resonates with, and if nothing else, they realize that they are not alone in struggles, in hardships. So if this is something that you would like to get sent to your personal inbox, I send these out every Monday morning. There'll be a link below for you to subscribe to the newsletter, and if not, that's okay too. But if you do think that someone might get value in some way, somehow, from hearing these videos, watching these videos, reading the newsletter, be sure to send it to them. I would really appreciate that. Again, the goal is to encourage and uplift people, and so the more people that I can do that to, the better. And with that, we'll catch you guys in the next one.